Stefanski as the OC will get Kirk back on track. What do the insiders say?
We'll talk about two different approaches. I mean, Atlanta just blew everything up during the offseason. You mentioned that Quinn fires his coordinators. You've also got them drafting 2 offensive linemen in the first round, traded back up in the end of the first round to get the second one. The key for them, though, is the injured players they're getting back. Remember, last year early, Deion Jones goes back, Keanu O'Neal goes down. They lost a couple other guys on the offensive side of the football. They're all there. For the Minnesota Vikings, they just tinkered, guys. They added Josh Klein in free agency. They drafted another guard in the first round. Other than that, Mike Zimmer is going with what he had. He thinks the addition of maybe Gary Kubiak and Rick Dennison can help that running game of that offense more than changing the talent up.
Yeah, well, Dalvin Cook, the running back for Minnesota, I mean, he could be a star on this football team, the way, obviously, with Kirk Cousins and everything. But they've broken my heart enough. I do like him. I'm going to probably give him one more chance here. But Atlanta, even though they got those players back healthy, I just still, there's something wrong. To me, when you're a head coach and you fire your coordinators and defensive line coach after you lose the Super Bowl, when you had a lead like you did, and then you fire your coordinators again this year, there's too much inconsistency there. I don't think the players really believe they can win. I don't see them getting pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Well, and it won't take a whole lot of pressure to affect Kirk Cousins, since that's been the Achilles heel of this very talented Minnesota offense. You have Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and now Dalvin Cook and a tight end. This is a very talented team, but they are hamstrung by the quarterback, Kirk Cousins. The one thing that I'm looking at is the offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings still looking for answers. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot of pressure for the Atlanta Falcons to turn this one around.
Dan's on an island on that one. He is going with Atlanta on the road.
And trying to perfect. I think it's just playing super. It's a defense as far as assignment and alignment, so we can just go out there and win our one-on-one matchups.
Adam, Tony here. So I got a question about the expectations for this year. Last year, you guys, a lot of people had you guys picked for the Super Bowl. This year I had a chance to come watch you guys in the preseason. Carissa and I did. And on paper, you guys are loaded. The eye test, you guys are loaded. What's going to be the difference between last year and this year as far as attitude getting to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think having that chip on your shoulder, being able to, take some of those bad times, those good times, going to the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago, trying to figure out, how we did that and maybe why we didn't make the playoffs last year. So having that chip on our shoulder, making sure that we're doing the little things that in the past has helped us get to those big games and trying to fix those mistakes that really, hurt us last year. So we're excited again, like I said, just get back on the field and play football again.
Yeah, so as far as personal goals for yourself, last year, monster year, how do you get yourself ready for this year, and what are your expectations out of yourself this year?
Well, really the biggest thing for me this whole off-season, training camp, things like that, is just trying to do the best I can, every single day, making sure that I'm going out there and winning. It doesn't matter if it's in practice, doesn't matter if it's against a starter or a backup. I'm going to try to go out there and do my best, try to win, and try to help this team win football games. And for us, we're kind of taking that mentality. It doesn't really matter how we win. We just got to go out there and try to execute to win.
I love it, Adam. The ultimate team guy. Good teammate.
Good answer.
Tony's all about the eye. You know what I mean?
Good man.
Adam, we really appreciate
You got to do
the
that in
time.
front of the camera,
Good answer. Appreciate the time, Adam. Good luck today.
All right, thanks, guys.
Let's send it over to Colin.
All right, thanks, Carissa. Matt LaFleur got an ugly win, but a win none.
Football is finally back, and this season is special.
They call it pro football. The men who play it are the best there are. Disciplined professionals who perform on a stage 100 yards long.
100 years of the game we all love, filled with images to remember forever.
We're going to be here all day, baby!
And now it's time for the next story to be written. The 100th chapter.
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession.
It's about honor. It's about respect. There's tens of thousands of people here who came to see you play football. Going here like a bunch of crazy dogs.
You put in the work when no one was watching. You sacrificed. You hustled. But now it's time to prove it.
It's time right now to take the next step. I knew you got your buck already.
Because in the end, everyone who's reached that pinnacle of success, lifted that trophy and added that ring, started in the same exact place you did. So what did they do different?
Look at him go! He couldn't be stopped! He's in! Unbelievable! How did he catch that? Whatever it takes, who we say we are!
Time to find out.
Let's go out today and take it!
Welcome to the 100th season of the NFL, and it starts right here on Fox.
It's the first Sunday of the 100th season. Well, from the famous Jennifer Lopez to the most famous desk in the business, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, Jimmy Johnson. Happy New Year, boys.
Kurt Menefee, what's up, buddy?
It's good to see you guys again, in person.
Yes.
Nice.
Big two.
Harry, this is the best you've ever looked.
You know,
I feel good. Thanks, Jimmy. I
Let's
feel
not
really good.
start the year off with a lie.
I've lost a lot of weight. I've cut my hair. I got a new movie coming out.
We'll talk about all of that, I'm sure, as the season goes along. But
Ryan, I think you look at the matchup with Atlanta and Minnesota. These are two of the 9 teams in the NFC that got the talent to go to the Super Bowl. So this is a big game, a big step today. Atlanta gets all those players that were hurt last year. They're coming back. They're going to be better. Minnesota, though, they're going to have balance on offense. They haven't had that in the past years. Gary Kubiak came in as assistant head coach. He's added the running game. He brought an offensive line coach with him.
Rick Dennison.
Now Delvin Cook is going to be healthy. If he's healthy all year, I promise you, with the running game, that can run all the way to the Super Bowl.
You think the head coach wants to run the ball?
Yes, Zimmer, I guarantee he does. They can take it all the way. They have that kind of talent.
all right, why don't we head up to Minnesota for the Vikings and the Falcons? And since we're in Minnesota, let's talk about the NFC North. They've had 3 different division champions in each of the last 3 years. So I'll ask you, TB, whose turn is it this year?
I'm actually going to go with Green Bay, basically primarily because of Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. I saw the game the other night. I would have picked the Bears, but they look horrible. Rodgers will get better. And the other thing is, if you looked at the 2.5 sacks and the interception, that's because Matt LaFleur brought in a defensive coordinator, and then they brought in Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith and Adrian Amos. Those are the guys that made the big plays the other night.
All right, why don't we... We are just a few moments away from the NFL kicking off the first Sunday of its 100th season. But before we do, here are a few words from some familiar faces.
Welcome to the 100th season of the National Football League. That's right, 100 seasons of the greatest game in the world. Aren't we lucky?
Namath. I always pick Namath for this stuff. It's like the Cowboys don't even exist.
Yeah, I guess Captain America isn't good enough for the 100th season.
And I got news for you. This Jets team is going to surprise some people. I guarantee it.
This is pro football, the sport of all time.
Faith, we've come a long way since playing on a dirt field.
Singing Sammy Baugh, Rodney Desky, Jim Brown, the greatest running back of all time.
And the game is better than ever. Trust me. Baker and the boys are going to be special.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but there ain't nothing more special than playing right here in Philadelphia. Right, Doug? Throughout the 100th season, we'll celebrate the history of the NFL.
Warner, gonna throw deep. Wide open Tyree. Thanks for that. I don't believe it. What a miracle. Timing for it. Run it.
Santonio with a touchdown.
Football immortality.
And we'll look to the future. Tell him, Marcus.
Just win in Vegas, baby.
You are looking live.
Hi, everybody. This is Kurt Guy.
Good afternoon. I'm Pat Samoa from John. Hello, friends. A game is ready to break out. Now it's time to play football. This should have started 5 minutes ago. This 100th season is clearly not on Coughlin time.
Relax, Coach. Let's have a little fun.
I'm with Coach. Let's get this party started.
100 seasons, the beat goes on.
And it all ends here in Miami at Super Bowl 54.
Here's to a perfect 100th season.
Fox 7. Entertainment always. Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Ah, yes, the legendary Bud Grant. We stopped in to see him the other day, coach of the Vikings for 18 years. led Minnesota to 4 Super Bowl appearances during his tenure. And his 158 regular season wins, the most in Vikings history, and he still looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's me. He's fired up for the season. He goes, "What do you mean, hunt season?" I said, "Yeah, and football, yeah. But hunt season, he's ready to go. Dialed in."
The 28-12, the final, giving Minnesota the start to the season that they really wanted.